The definition of temperature is a measure of how hot or cold an object is if you compare it to something else. It indicates heat flow, and heat always flows from hot to cold. And you can test this out if you want to. If you put a metal spoon into a really hot cup of coffee and you put it on your tongue, the heat will go from the spoon to your tongue and maybe burn it. So maybe you shouldn't try that at home. We measure temperature with a thermometer, as you can see here. There are 3 temperature scales that are used: Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin. They all have reference points, as we're showing you here, which are the freezing point of water, the boiling point of water, and then normal body temperature. Notice the Celsius scale is nice and simple. 0 freezing point of water, 100 boiling point of water separated by 100 degrees. Room temperature is about 37 degrees Celsius. It's also 100 kelvins between the freezing point and the boiling point of water. And to get kelvins, it's really simple. You add 273 to the Celsius temperature. And so the freezing point of water is 273. The boiling point of water is 100 plus 273, which is 373. Room temperature is 37 plus 273, which is 310 Kelvin. Now, when you get to Fahrenheit, it's a little bit different. Freezing point of water is 32. Boiling point of water is 212. That's a 180 degree difference, and so it's a little bit more difficult than just having your nice 100 scale. So, first learning check is just basically looking at that information on those reference points and answering these 3 questions. Okay, so what is the temperature at which water freezes? 0 Celsius. If it was asking in Kelvin, it would be 273 Kelvin, or it's 32 Fahrenheit. What is the temperature at which water boils? 373 Kelvin, which is the same as 100 Celsius, or 212 Fahrenheit. How many Celsius units are between boiling and freezing points of water? 100. How many are Kelvin? 100. But the Fahrenheit is different. It is 180. So on a Fahrenheit scale, there's 180 degrees F between freezing and boiling. On the Celsius scale, there's 100 degrees difference. And so if you put those in proportion, it's a 9 to 5 or a 1.8 to 1. And so we use that to come up with a formula to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. So the degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 1.8 times the temperature in Celsius plus 32 degrees. Remember that the 32 is considered to be an exact number. The 1.8 is considered to be an exact number. Therefore, what you use to get your significant figures is whatever that temperature is that you're using. So in this case, you're going to have no decimal because your temperature was minus 10 degrees C. Hypothermia occurs if your body temperature drops below 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. A person with hypothermia, if it's 34.8 degrees C, how would you calculate that and convert that to F? You use the formula that we've already said. You've got 34.8 degrees C. You need to get to Fahrenheit. You've got the conversion factor basically because you have the equation. So you just plug the number in. Your Fahrenheit temperature is 1.8 times whatever your Celsius temperature is, then plus 32. So 34.8 times 1.8 plus 32. Remember, you just go by the temperature that you're converting as far as significant figures go. This one has 3 places, so your answer has 3 places. All right, try this learning check. Watch your sign. Make sure you put that minus sign, that negative sign in your calculator when you're doing this calculation. On a cold winter day, temperature is minus 15 degrees C. What is the temperature in Fahrenheit? Fahrenheit equals 1.8 times the temperature in Celsius plus 32. So 1.8 times minus 15 is a minus 27. When you have a negative 27 plus a positive 32, that gives you 5 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't change those signs correctly on your calculator, then you're going to get the wrong answer. When we convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, you can just plug in that same equation and not have to memorize anything else. But if you want the other form, the Celsius temperature is equal to the Fahrenheit minus 32, then divided by 1.8. So normal body temperature of a chickadee, baby chick, is 105.8 degrees F. What is that temperature on the Celsius scale? 73.8, 58.8, or 41? See if you can figure this one out. Alright, how'd you do? Celsius is equal to the Fahrenheit temperature, which is 105.8, minus 32. Okay, that comes up to 73.8. Then you divide by 1.8. And we only go by the temperature. Okay, so when you've got 73.8 as your answer divided by 1.8, you have 3 here, so you have 3 here. So 3 significant figures. A pepperoni pizza is baked at 455 degrees Fahrenheit. What temperature is needed on the Celsius scale? Use your equation, plug it in, see what you get, and then come back. (455 degrees minus 32 divided by 1.8 should be 235 degrees C. So answer B was correct. Going from Kelvin to Celsius or Celsius to Kelvin is really easy because even though they are different number-wise, their changes are the same. That is, 1 Kelvin and 1 degree C change are the same. What I mean is that if you have Celsius, all you have to do is add 273 to it. That will give you Kelvin. If you go backwards, you just subtract. To get to the Celsius, then you just subtract 273. Okay? So it's very easy. Just remember that 273. And if you look in your book, there is like 273.15 is the actual number, but 273 is fine for our purposes. So here's just a comparison of different temperatures in the 3 scales for you to look at. It's a table that's in your book. Your final learning check on this section: what is normal body temperature of 37 degrees C in Kelvin? How do we go from Celsius to Kelvin? Remember, Kelvin's always the bigger one. So it's 37, what? Plus 273, which gives us 310 Kelvin. And that's it for this section. Stay with me for the next section, 2.5, or take a break and come back later.